What's up, bro?
Congratulations, my.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
So talk to me. How was the experience fighting the the undefeated Nick Molina from the Mill City?
I mean, you clearly seeing like, and there's no disrespect to Nick, you know what I'm saying, because he stepped up, but you clearly seeing even with the record, it didn't really, experience, trumped everything. You know what I mean? So that's why if you notice, I was just taking my time and being patient. I expected to end that early. You know what I'm saying? I was always confident in expecting a win, even a stoppage, but I definitely didn't see it end that early because at the same time, I also wanted to, of course, get some ring rust off. But if you can get a guy out of there early, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Well, I want to say thank you, man, because the knockout odds was pretty decent. I betted you on the knockout, so
Yeah,
definitely appreciate that. Keep this. We got to keep that money train going, right?
right. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. Every bit helps.
So, I mean, talk to me as far as just shaking off that ring rust. Were you having fun in there for the little time that you was in there for?
For honestly, like it was one of those things because, like I said, it was an 18-month layoff. It was one of those things like I was more anxious of getting it out the way so I can move forward and hopefully focus on the bigger picture ahead. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it was good. It was a good feeling to put 8 ounces back on, 8 ounce gloves back on, and whatever, and move around a bit. But like I wasn't thinking ahead, but I was always saying to myself, I gotta get past this guy in order to get to the real fun down the road again.
So, what you see in there? Being in there with what did you see as soon as the bell rang?
Um, I knew from watching, like, what I'm saying, from just watching old tapes of like the tapes I found on YouTube, whatever, that I know he was gonna be a mover. And between me and you, honestly, bro, I thought at first I didn't like the fight because of that, and like I was never known as a guy, because you look at some of my own even my own footage, I'm usually known as being the boxer, so it was not, I thought it was gonna be like a bad style clash in my honest opinion. But when I went to Vegas and started working with Wayne out there, he started showing me how to basically properly, close the gap. That's why you didn't see me like if you notice, I was always in range when I wanted to attack, but I was always a little bit just further, just enough out range from him trying to throw anything back at me because I don't think I really got hit. But maybe once or so, maybe you know what I mean. But again, that was just working on the distance, and also you look, the ring was small, so I knew it was not that much space he can use more much as he probably would like to use in there.
Obviously, you've been a guy that has been in some big stages. I'm assuming that this stage was a lot smaller than what you were used to.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's why, like, even though look, I didn't really like, go out there bragging or both. Like, I know what the purpose of the fight was. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it was just mainly, I looked at it. It was mainly more to show based on what I like how I looked in there. You know what I'm saying? If my reaction was slow, if my punches weren't the same, if I didn't have speed on my, speed on my shot. So I think it was more of a testament as more of what I can do and not in terms of like what he was gonna do, and that's just being honest, So that's why I didn't really like look at it as, oh, it should be a knockout of the year type thing. I was like, nah, I mean, I was like most people have expected me, just off experience to get a guy like that out of there. So I look at it like that as more like how did Jamell look today than he did, a year ago.
But in the same time, it was a first round knockout. So
Right. Yeah.
obviously, like you said, the experience it trumped the age of the kid. Now, in the same time, like, did you the time that you felt like you possibly got hurt? I mean, got hit. Did you feel by any means that you just said, "Hey, I'm gonna work this kid"? As soon as he threw his first punch.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked at because I look at study everything, and that just comes from me being like, on the commentating side, I look at everything from like, where they normally prefer to fight at in terms of weight and everything like that, how they look when they rehydrate. So I knew if I kept going to the body, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like he had a bad weight cut, because again, the weight was something that he preferred. He wanted it was a contract weight at 133. I was always saying that I was cool going to 130 because I want to make a statement that I
And you wanted to go 10 too.
yeah, yes, exactly. So I'm thinking like, okay, he must be overweight, and they don't want to go that long. If it does go long, they don't want to go that long, and they don't want to cut that deep. So when I seen that he actually came in under like lower than me in terms of weight, because I was like 131.8, he was like 131.2. I look at it as this: he probably made the weight, and he probably forced himself to hold the weight, and he kept losing. You know what I'm saying? He kept risking losing weight as the days went on.
He peaked too early.
Yeah, he peaked. Yeah, he peaked way too early. So that's why I picked up on that. And I was like, why? I was surprised. I was like, man, why did he come in lower than me? And especially at the weight that he picked. So I was like, okay, he must have peaked, like you said, early. And I just said, let me just go to the body and see how he reacts to it.
And looking at some of the training that you were doing online, you showed a lot of like body work. It seemed like that was already the plan from the jump.
Oh yeah, Wayne definitely Wayne. It's crazy. Wayne, McCullough was definitely shooting for. He was actually shooting for a second round knockout. Like to be honest, like he was shooting. I thought he was, so I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was like, I was like, Wayne's kind of. I thought, nah. I looked because Molina likes to move a lot. So I'm like, nah, I don't think. I said maybe like fourth or so because he's a mover. But Wayne was like, no, I really think just from the style wise, you probably get him out by the second round. But yeah, definitely Wayne was definitely heavy. Emphasizing, on the body, but also, we were still like, off the cameras, we were still doing a lot of boxing because again, I was sparring guys like Leon Paro. You can't sit there with a guy like that who's a knockout artist at a higher weight class, two weight classes above me, and just heavily focused on the body. So you have to like, move like, Liam was in there at the same time, same camp. He was sparring with Shakur, and there are others out there in Vegas with me. So, a guy like that, you gotta take serious.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did you feel like I said, I bet on the knockout. Didn't expect it to be in the first round, but I jumped out the room. I was telling my girl, I was like, "Yo, I already won."
I,
Shit. She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." She was trying to make me a drink. So, did you make it? Do you feel like you made a statement? Like, did you feel like at 130 pounds, did you feel like, hey, the former champion Jamell Herring is back? And I remember, last time speaking to you, it was like this fight, another fight, possibly
right.
um, a title eliminator, something in that sort.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, man. I think it just showed that there's still something there. Of course, like even like if I'm being honest, like I ain't fight at 130 since the Shakur fight. You know what I mean? And that wasn't my best outing at all. You know what I mean? So somebody may think that it could have been the weight or whatever, and I look at it, it was just a skill level. You know what I'm saying? Shakur he's just a different talent. If I'm being honest. But I wanted to prove that, like, if you look, and then you also look at, if you look at 130, Shakur Stevenson's only fighter that's beat me at that weight. So and when I looked at 135, again, you gotta be honest with yourself again. Like the landscape, the picnics are slim. You know what I mean? Like Devin still holds all the titles, and then once those belts, if he does vacate all those titles, you already know they're gonna call for the number one, number two guy to start, fighting for those belts and so on and so on, and with every other sanctions body. So I just looked at, saying the division where saying it's kind of spread, but at the same time, if you make the right moves, I'm saying you can go into the right direction with fighting what I'm saying any of those champions out there.
Speak about some of those champions, man. Obviously we're gonna get into the Shakur fight, but obviously we see Navarrete on that co-main event.
Right.
We also just seen a couple weeks ago Oshaki Foster
Yeah.
needed a knockout in the fight, and dig down deep and got it. Um, Guys like that in the division in your behalf, like who are you really believe that is like the top guy, or do you believe that you're the top guy?
No, I know. I mean, I give all respect. I think Navarrete is saying the top guy. I think Shaq is maybe right under him. Just based on recent performances. Obviously, people are giving, Joe Godina a hard time, because of how he looked over the weekend. Even though I think with Joe is probably it is probably the weight that's probably hurting him. You know what I'm saying? That's causing him to be like, not as active in terms of his punch output. And then, Hector Garcia, it's hard. Like he hasn't been around the ring since the Tank fight. You know, he's about to fight. He's about to fight Lamont Roach. So you know what I mean. That's
On
what
the
I.
Benavides card.
Yeah, exactly. And they're finally fighting on that card with Lamont Roach. Somebody said about Tevin. You know, they mentioned Tevin called me out last night, and he was there. He was there. You know, and we spoke. We actually like what y'all didn't see when I got out the ring. He was right there. You know, me and Tevin we spoke. It was no bad blood, but I was like, I said like if it makes sense. You know what I mean? Whatever. It's what I'm saying. It's just like that. But to me and Tev cool. Like me, it's never no bad blood. I just look at it. If it's a fun fight, people want to see it, whatever. I'm all for it. But like but going back to Navarrete, it seems like we just looking at him being on a scorecard. Card. You know how these promoters work at times. It seems like they setting something up. You know what I mean? And we always heard rumors about a possible Navarrete, Shakur fight in the future when Shakur is even at 130. And Navarrete, he seems like he grows out of weight classes fast. So you know what I mean. So you never know. He might be fighting Shakur maybe at a catchweight after this, or he might just fully move up to 135 pounds. So who knows?
Right, right, yeah. I mean, for the big fights, right? I mean, and at the same time, if the fight that with De Los Santos and Shakur will be for, I think, the WBC title,
Yeah.
vacant title. So, I mean, obviously, this is a gentleman that is already in his third weight class, probably wanting to attack his fourth weight class. A legend at his own sort, Now, speaking upon, for you, who would you like, in your behalf? What's the best style matchup when it comes to some of these champions, and what's most likely in the route, you think?
Like I said, I know honestly speaking with Lou, when I mentioned the possibly going over even like with the UK fighters, like the Lee Woods, this guy's moving out to 30. I think Warrington's moving to 30. I don't know. I don't know what Cordino wants to do. Honestly, I know he mentioned about fighting. You know what I mean? Over the summertime when I was first, talking about coming back. But again, you're right. I think Joe Cordino right now is trying to like not like I don't want to say like cash out, but I just want to say like he's going for the money. But again, like he's trying to look for the biggest fight while he still has a title at 130 pounds. So I don't look at it. So I look at it as just a business move on Joe's part. So if I have to even go to other routes with the other UK fighters, and then so be it. But again, like I know Lamont Roach did an interview a few months ago, and he even mentioned about if possibly if he wins the WBA title, he will run a running back. Of course, I still have a good relationship with Ty Rank, but again, we don't know what Navarrete is doing, and you know what I mean. And again, like we don't know what direction Shock is going to go into. So, but at the same time, you see, I still got I still got wiggle room to like if one thing falls out, I can go another direction, and that's one reason why I'm even working with guys like Ludabella and so on, because Lou works with Ty Rank. He
What's everybody?
SK's over there fighting Cordino over the weekend. So there's multiple routes. I don't have to feel like I'm stuck on that whole this side of the street mess, and I have room to to move around and work with. If one thing falls out, he can put me over here, over there.
So, in your behalf, you believe Navarrete is the top guy at 130?
Yeah,
They don't
yeah,
shock you, Foster. Then you would think Hector Garcia when it comes to the champions.
right. Yeah, I definitely think Navarrete is definitely one of the top guys in the division for sure.
How do you see him? Him and a Shakur fight play out.
I think I think he's gonna make it on because style wise, like it's so awkward. He's gonna make it uncomfortable with a guy like Shakur. But once Shakur figures out that distance and space and knows how to the timing, because that's what Shakur's really good at is calculating his timing. He can make it an easy fight for himself. You know what I'm saying that's his thing. I'm saying that's always been his thing. Like even if you watch I mean, Oscar Valdez is not a big guy, but Oscar Valdez could be an active guy if you let him. But you see how Shakur neutralized him when they fought. You know what I mean? By keeping the space, distance, and keeping him at arm's length majority of the fight, and so on. Even when he fought a guy like Robson Conseo, Shakur kind of like neutralized his aggression as well and kept him from like because Conseo, if you let him, he'll bomb and throw a lot of punches and bunches, but
And
when he
he's awkward.
yeah, and he's awkward too. So when he fought Shakur, he was kind of like, he kind of didn't have much answers. So I think like again, with a guy like Shakur, once he figures you out, it's hard. It's hard for him to, yeah, but stiff arm. He was stiff arming the hell out of them guys. You know what I mean? So like, once he like, once you can't get past, he won't allow you to get past that stiff arm. You know what I mean? Like he makes it tough for you.
Yeah, 100%. So you would favor Shakur in that matchup?
Yeah, yeah. But like I said again, like I said, I think Navarrete has his moments because I never seen Navarrete like in a position where he's not getting his shots off or he's just letting anybody do whatever they want to do. But so I think like probably like maybe fourth, fifth round, you'll start seeing Shakur pick things up and saying and placing the shots better or whatever.
Mm, mm. I love it. I love it a lot. Shout out to everybody on the channel, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Here we got former champion Jamell Herring. I forgot to say happy birthday, man. I mean, I got to text it to you, but
Yeah.
happy birthday, man. You got a big win right after it. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it's nice to be back home.
Oh yeah, man, yeah, man. Wife already put me to work since I got back home. Man, I was just like before I got on with you, I'm taking out the trash and everything. So he wastes no time. But yeah,
I love it. Make sure you guys smash the like button, smash the like button. So Jamel, let me tell you something. We have a poll here, right? And it's the best fights coming up this year. All right. I wanted to hear your thoughts. We have a poll. We got 21 people. We'll wait and unleash the the answers to what people are really wanting to see. So first off, we got Shakur Stevenson and De Los Santos coming up this week, November 16th. We got Haney and Regis, December 9th. We got Benavides and Andres, November 25th or 4th. I think it's 5th. In your behalf, what's the most entertaining fight, competitive fight in your eyes out of those three?
what was the second? What was the second one again? The second one.
Second one was Haney and Regis. First one was
I
Shakur De
think.
Los Santos and
I think.
Benavides and Andre.
I think honestly, if I had to put it in order, I think I would give it Haney and Regis, Boo Boo, Benavides, and then Shakur. You know what I'm saying? The Shakur fight, whatever. And there's nothing like the Shakur fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good fight because you know what I'm saying he's aggressive. He's aggressive and he can hit. So I think even if he touched something, you know what I mean, Shakur, you know what I'm saying, Shakur may feel it. But again, you know what I'm saying, I think that's gonna be one of those fights where you start probably see Shakur use more of his feet, his footwork, you know what I'm saying, his footwork to you know what I'm saying, stay out of harm's way. With the Boo Boo and Benavides fight, I look at that one as for me, it's more like the ring rust with you know what I'm saying of
Mhm.
Andre. Like I want to see like how he looks because he's been kind of inactive as well, and with somebody like Benavides, once he gets that engine running, he doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Like just look at the Caleb Plant fight. Caleb had his moments in the beginning of the fight, but once he gets that the engine running is hard. It's hard to and then he has fast hands. You know what I mean? Once he gets to that distance, he's gonna let his hands go, his body, head, whatever. But I think Boo Boo's the better boxer. You know what I mean? In terms of technician wise, But like, and then Boo Boo comes in, ready and can go around strong. I would lean towards Boo Boo because if he gets those early rounds, he may and keeps that pace, then I can see him, heading to a decision victory. But again, if he if the ring rust pass play in a part in that fight, and say like Benavides gets that motor going and keeps coming, and and just stealing round after round and round with activity, it may be a long night. But I think the Haney and Regis fight is an interesting fight because of course everybody's looking at Regis' last performance, and he's talking right now. He's talking hell of a game and promoting a fight. Like, listen, this is going to be more about skill versus skill, not about I'm not relying on power. And I think that's a smart approach because I was literally just watching over the weekend. I was watching him when he fought Josh Taylor, and I think he was too much heavy at that point in time. He was putting guys out in that tournament, but I think he was heavily, he's heavily emphasizing more on his power against Josh Taylor more than his skill. So and Devin is not he's not dumb. He's not gonna Devin's not gonna stand and bang with you. I mean, why would he? Why would he? Especially at a new weight class with a bigger guy, he ain't gonna stand and bang with you. And like Devin Haney has, I think, one of the best jabs out there in the game. You know what I mean? Because like he'll pump that jab. You know what I'm saying? round after round after round to keep you at bay, and he'll blind you with it before he lets go of that right hand. And Devin, saying, he'll throw his right hand to a looping shot or around the guard type thing. So and he'll place it, or he'll put that sticky uppercut in. So Devin is definitely going to try to keep that space and distance. So Regis is gonna have to like I was telling somebody the other day, he's gonna have to use that slick maneuver that he did with what's it Cepeda, when he had to he had to be slick to get in there and to let his hands go instead of relying and then get the big shots off. Because again, like I said, people think that and Devin had pointed. I think Devin had mentioned it on Twitter the other day. Like people think that he still has a issue with the southpaw. So I think Devin has to tune up in terms of looking out for that left hand, and if he doesn't, that left hand could be a big turning point in the fight from Regis, because he does have power.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was the real quick recap, but we're gonna dissect these fights even more. We got the one and only Jamell Herring, top ranks own analyst on top of it, and active fighter. Uh,
Yeah,
so
I'm trying busy.
super busy, super busy. Make sure you guys get into the polls. Let me know what's your favorite fight for the end of the year, and make sure you guys smash the like button. So coming into the first fight with Shakur and De Los Santos, I interviewed Shakur. I asked him, "Hey, do you believe El De Los Santos is probably the best guy on your resume?" He believes he doesn't know until he gets in there with him. Um, in your behalf, looking at De Los Santos, he had two great outings. The last one was with Joseph Adorno, which Shakur was able to take a loss from Adorno in the amateurs. And in the same time, we got Rayo Venezuela, which was the Mexican prospect from the Benavides camp, and he kind of disrupted their plans as well.
Let's do that. That's Ryu right for Coker,
Rayo
right?
Venezuela, yeah. So I mean, just looking at the guy, I mean, he fought both his two last opponents. He fought them completely different. He actually boxed his way into a victory with where Adorno. What do you think about them as far as the stylistically? Do you think that this is the best guy that Shakur has been in there with, as
Probably,
far as resume?
yeah, probably so. Probably so. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm just honest. Like I didn't have my best look. My style. That fight didn't look good with score. So I'm not. I think like Del Son, because like again, if he's a fighter that's coming with different styles in terms of fighting somebody, that's a smart fighter. Because like I was telling young kid the other day, you can't always expect to fight everybody the same, because now in today's world, when video is always out there, if you have a smart fighter, let alone a smart team, they're
Team,
gonna
yeah.
they're gonna pick up on every little thing that you're doing out there. You know what I mean? So you have to always change up and to make the right adjustments with every different fighter. Like even like I said last night, I couldn't rely on just trying to box. I knew it wasn't gonna be a boxing match. I had to go out there and I had to go be the dog in that fight. You know what I mean? And be the hunter. You know what I mean? So every time you go in there, you gotta make the proper adjustment. And like you mentioned, he boxed in one fight, and then another fight, he was going toe to toe. Like he got, he got hurt, that one fight, and he came back and stopped him. So again, I think what I mean. And then I'm watching the demeanor. You know what I mean? Like he's even like poking the bear, as you were saying. You know what I'm saying? With score, like you can tell, like he's really up for this fight. Like he really, he really believes himself. I mean, think about it. If you look at it, he took less money than what they were offering Frank Martin. You know what I mean? To make the fight. So that tells you right there, like he's going for the, he's going for legacy. You know what I mean? The money's going. He looks at it. If I win here, the money's going to come. The money's going to come. But again, I think it's a good matchup.
Um, do you think it goes 12 rounds?
I think so. I think it can go 12. It can go 12.
Hmm. Do you, as far as percentage wise, what percentage do you give Shakur Stevenson being victorious?
I give him a 70% chance, just because they're saying just the the tools that he has. But again, all it takes is one hit, one punch trying to fight around. I mean, think about it, let's be honest, like let's be real. Like let's say when Floyd fought Maidana, how much chance that anyone was giving Maidana to look that good? Especially in that first fight against Floyd. Like I was actually in the venue for that fight, and I was kind of worried. Those first 4 or 5 rounds of Floyd, like so that's what I mean. So you just never know. You can't, like I said, I feel like it'd be disrespectful to count anybody out of a fight. You know what I mean? Especially especially somebody who's hungry as he is. So this is boxing. We seen surprises before. Like, I mean, Andy Ruiz wasn't supposed to be, what I'm saying, Joshua, So, that's what I'm saying. So, like, that's why we love the sport. What I'm saying? Ain't anything can happen. But again, like, if I was a betting man, of course, I would lean towards Shakur Stevenson. But like I said, it's one of those, like, I would never, judge a man's hunger and his determination, to go after something.
Right, 100%.
Let's
I
be honest.
totally agree.
They went down the list. No one else was trying to fight that man. You know what I mean? It was either one thing after another. We was trying to get Shakur to fight to begin with, and when he got the opportunity, like I said, he even took. Yeah, I think he could have called this number at the table what he won. He took less. I think he's only getting paid like 400,000 for this fight. They was offering Frank Martin 1 million. And you know what I'm saying? He didn't even ask for half that. You know what I mean? So like that touch you right there, like, he how hungry he is, and he just wants the belt. He wants to be champion. So I look at things like that and be like, okay, yeah, this guy's a serious fighter. Like, he's not a diva about it. He's not picky. Like, he's not making no excuses on why the fight shouldn't happen.
Hmm. Um, Good question for you right here. Do you believe that guys like Jermaine Ortiz deserve this fight more than guys like De Los Santos fighting a guy like Shakur Stevenson?
We were just talking over the weekend. He wants to get back. He wants to get active. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to help my man get back in the ring. Like, that's another guy that I fought and lost to. But I've never been a guy who had hard feelings. I like Jermaine. I think Jermaine's a special talent. And I'm glad that, what I'm saying, we shared the ring together because, when I fought and lost to him, people was looking like, who, like, he lost to an unknown nobody. But when he fought that Lomachenko fight, then
Oh,
people,
now he's a somebody.
yeah, then somebody got to catch it on. Like, oh, this dude is okay. This dude is really, he's really, so again, Jermaine, he actually, came to us. He wanted the Shakur fight, and with the thing happened with the weight, of course, and they had to scrap that plan. So, I was even trying to help him, even recently, with the whole Keyshawn situation where, Pedraza really campaigns at 40. So I'm like, hey, I know Jermaine would have took that fight with Pedraza to fill that void if necessary. But that's what I like about Jermaine. Like, he'll pretty much fight anybody out there. And I know for a fact he wants to fight guys like Devin. But yeah, man, yeah, that next gen, he did have a rough outing with Adorno, and that's crazy as you said, because I was looking at that fight when I was studying him, the Adorno fight, but that was just like what I learned talking to him afterwards. That was just like bad weight cuts because he's big for the weight, and, he was pretty much killing himself to make lightweight. And I was like, bro, just move up, man. There's no need for you to keep, saying sucking down the lightweight, and if you leave your chin exposed to the right to the wrong person, what I mean, it could be a bad night. So like I think Jermaine's gonna look a lot better at like 140 because like he's a big dude, he can box, he's a mover, he's a switch hitter. If you look at it, he'll fight you southpaw here, orthodox here. So like I said, don't count him out. Like I said again, that's one thing I learned. I can't really look on fighters past fights too deeply because I mean even look at my own career. Like, people will look at the Shavkov fight and when I was getting ready to fight Ito, because Rudy Hernandez admitted that to me. They was looking at the Shavkov fight, but then when I fought for the title against Ito, it was a whole different fighter. So you can't really a smart if you I would say a smart fighter that's determined to actually want to grow and build. They're going to learn from their mistakes and correct those mistakes over time.
Talking to Jermaine, I'm gonna be talking to him tomorrow because I wanted to see. Last time I talked to him, before his last fight, I mean, he said he was comfortable making 135. I want to see if that's still possible. I know that his
Nah,
last
yeah,
catch
it's
weight.
I actually hooked Jermaine up with the same nutritionist that gets me down to 130. You know what I'm saying? So he can get if he feels like he can do it. I would prefer him to listen to the nutritionist, what I'm saying, that I work with to help him get down there so he doesn't kill himself, what I'm saying, to get there, But at the same time, again, I'm gonna support him whatever he wants to do. But I think he can make noise and still be strong at 140 pounds. That's my opinion. But again, I'm a rock with him whatever he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? If he still feel like he can get down to lightweight and want to make noise down there, then I'm saying then so be it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of names and style matchups for the guys at 140. I mean, I think he would be really good. I thought like I got him beating a Regis. Honestly, I think it would be. Maybe not the easiest fight, but I think he could become victorious in that fight. Now, the reason, and you know why I asked you for that, because like I just feel like they're in the same company. I think that they would do good in New York City.
Right.
He's half Puerto Rican, half Dominican. You got Shakur, half black, half Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican parade with Xander Zayas on it.
I feel you now. I mean, the marketing makes sense, but again, like my man Nick Jen said, like it's crazy. Like, yeah, he went life and death, whatever you may say. So with O'Donnell, but then with Lomachenko, it was a different fighter. So you can't. That's what I mean. You can't really bank on, the past. So unless you keep seeing the same mistakes over and over again, which becomes bad habits. You can't really bank on what somebody may have looked at. And you never know what they may have gone through in that camp. You know what I mean, and so forth.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Um, did my interview yesterday with Subir Matias. He had lots of things to say about Antoine Russell. Uh,
Yeah, now I was watching. I was crazy. I was watching a lot of him. Like it's crazy. It's like that's one dude where like I think he's probably like one of the most dangerous dudes at 140 pounds because he just like his style is different. What I mean by that is like if you look at he don't really sit on his punches. Like a lot of his punches is arm punches, and he just letting them go. So that just tells you like he just heavy handed. He just probably naturally heavy handed because you really don't see him sit on shots. And you know what I'm saying? He just lets them go, and then he's walking. He'll walk to his opponent, hands down, and just what I'm saying he's allowing you to open up to create an opening for himself. And I'm like, man, like, and he has that gas tank. So it's like, that's a guy like, what I'm saying, a lot of people are gonna avoid because like, who can you really find for training camp to like for that style? You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's an awkward, not a reckless style, but how many fighters is gonna just walk to you with their hands down and all they doing is just arm punching, not as like shoe shining and flurries, but again, like he's letting them, what I'm saying, he's letting them go, and what I'm saying, he's getting everybody out. You know what I mean? He may not get you out the first round or so, but he's gonna get you by 8, 9, 10. That mental pressure is gonna wear on you, and it's like how do you deal with that? And if you notice, let's be honest, a lot of people when it comes down to unifying 140 pounds. They're not mentioning his name for a reason. You know what I mean? Because the style is, what I'm saying, you hear them say, "Oh, we could fight Rollies or Tio or this one, yada yada yada." But ain't nobody mentioning, Matias out there, man.
yeah, shout out to Chef for taking that fight. I know he's like 26-0,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's been it.
86% KO ratio.
War. There's gonna be a war.
It is. It could also be a fight to kind of steal the show for December 25th. To be honest.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure, for sure.
Um, and other fights here, when it comes down to Haney and Regis, I mean, obviously the Haney's, what I mean by the Haney's, I mean Bill went to Regis's last fight, scouted him out, obviously right after the Lomachenko win, escaped that win. And a lot of people are talking about Regis as being one of the weaker champions. What would you have to say about guys that are saying things like that? That they're one of the the weakest opponents to get a title shot.
People think that Reach is one of the weakest links. Yeah. Nah, I gotta laugh, and there's no disrespect, but that's like saying. So yeah, but saying like they think Rollies is like, and there's no, but I'm saying like I
I
think.
asked Kenny. Coach Kenny told me that he's like I think Rolly's harder.
I mean, Rose can hit, he can bang, but I'm talking about like in like terms of technique wise. I don't. I think Regis can box too though. I'm not saying Rose like Rose can hit. Don't get me wrong, he can hit too. But Regis can hit and box, and you know what I mean. And I think he has more experience. So I always put the experience factor in there. But like, I don't know, that's a crazy take. That's a crazy take. I mean, that's a crazy take. I mean, it's crazy because so at one point in time a lot of people actually had Regis as the guy. You know what I mean? The guy, and maybe him and Matias, but that's crazy. But I think because of the last performance, people on some people's list, he kind of maybe dropped, and I think Regis knows that. Mentally, the people think that he's falling off because of the last fight or so. But yeah, that's crazy, man. That people think. I think like I mean, I remember like, this is a true story. This is like years ago. I'm like when it was an amateur still, but like in the amateurs. But I remember I sparred both Regis and Errol Spence in the same day, and I felt that Regis, you know, what I'm saying Errol was the more technical, like because Errol had that same style he has today. Like Errol kept just pushing, 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 and you know, what I'm saying, and he'll break you, you know what I mean? But like when I was sparring Regis, I felt like he had like just like heavy hands and like that same style when he, you know what I mean, that he has today. You know what I mean? He had it back then also. But I thought that he just had I thought he was a bigger puncher. And then at the time also, Errol and Regis, they were both at 152 pounds in the amateurs. And this is a guy like again who moved down, is fighting at 140. So I'm thinking like, yo, this is a guy who's really a welterweight. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting down at 140 pounds. So I knew he would be a problem for a lot of people in his pro career. So I don't know. Like I said, I think, like I said, that Devin is a smart fighter. At the end of the day, his father's smart as well. I don't think they're overlooking and looking past him because, again, you never know what happened in the fight, and you know, so he does have that power to turn a fight around. You can win as many rounds as you want, but if you get caught, if you by being lazy, you know, it can turn things around with a guy like Regis at the end of the day.
Um, just looking at the style matchups, listening to Devin Haney talk, do you think that do you believe him when he says I'm gonna beat Regis up, like beat him up? Uh or do you think he's gonna just make it a point game, fight in the back foot?
No, I think he can beat you up fighting on the back foot, if he wants. You know what I'm saying, on the right night. Like if you look at this fight, we'll say like guys like JoJo Diaz who kept coming, pressing, pressing, pressing. You know, Devin was on the back foot, but that jab and letting his punches go, and then like with JoJo with the high guard, Devin has that little sneaky uppercut that people don't, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of underrated. You know, he'll sneak that uppercut in because with a long, cause you think you had a range, but he has those long arms, and he'll sneak that little sneaky uppercut in behind those jabs. So but that's what he probably means by like he'll beat you up, but just the accumulation of all the punches. Because Devin throws a lot of punches now. If you let him, he'll throw a lot of punches
Workhorse.
over time. They'll bruise you up. You know, so they'll slip in. They'll slip in there. You know what I mean? But I think that's what he means. But again, I don't see Devin as like a runner. I think if anything, he'll fight you in the back foot, but he'll fight you throwing a lot of punches, and that's what makes him a good fighter. He can fight you in the back foot.
Mm, mm. Um, where the percentages lie on that fight?
That fight, honestly, I like that fight the best. I probably get that at a 50-50, but it's like one of those fights where you gotta watch the first couple of rounds, you know what I'm saying, to see how it looks. Honestly I don't really bet on fights because like I always go by because again, this is the commentating side of me, like I actually have to watch like because you can see how a fight is looking in the first couple of rounds, you know what I mean, and where it's going, where it may be shifting to. Like I give like the first 3 rounds, and if I see like no adjustments are being made on one end, I'll be like, okay, this guy might cruise too, because it might get worse because you might get the other guy too much confidence, and he might start picking other things up to add to the arsenal with that, you know what I'm saying. But if it's a real tactical fight, it's whatever. But you can really kind of tell how a fight's gonna look of the first 3 or 4 rounds, honestly.
What do you think? Some of the comments that him and his team made in the press conference. Devin buying his win in Mexico. Uh, and just him being kind of spoon fed this title that he had with the WBC. They called him an email champ, and then scoop Cambosis like a vulture. Oh,
I mean, like I said, like I agree. Like I don't really care for that because at the same time, it's like whatever he did in the past, it doesn't affect what's going on today. You know what I mean? Yeah, the fights. Yeah, he could be 29-1, whatever you want to call it, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like we still fighting though. At the end of the day, we still fighting. Whatever happened in the past is not affecting what's going on with me today. At least, you know what I'm saying, on paper. And that's because that'll be the only difference. The paper on paper will say something different with the records, but again, they're fighting now, and I think it was just a thing for Regis to get under Devin's skin or whatever. But of course, like I mean, that like whatever, like who knows what happened in Mexico. At the same time, I give Devin credit because I think that whole email champion thing did light a few under him where, you know what I mean, where he went out there and made
Shut everybody up after.
yeah, made him go out there to go fight, try to fight the best matchups that he could possibly make. You know what I'm saying? Again,
Yep.
you can say what you want, you know what I'm saying, but if you look at his when you look at his resume as a whole, you know, he's good for, you know what I'm saying,
He
current
got
champ
the probably
or
got the best resume at the lightweights.
yeah, yes, I'm saying like or past champions, like you know, you got the Jorge Linares on the resume, the Jojo Diaz. These guys still are champions, whether you like it or not, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Jorge Linares hurt him, and he still went out there and you know toughened it out and got the victory. Um, he had to go overseas in Australia. Australia, you know what I'm saying? And despite what you may say about Cambodia, he had to go do it twice, and then he had to sign on with you know what I'm saying with Top Rank and then had to fight a Lomachenko. Like I said again, I don't argue with how you look at or score the Lomachenko fight. At the same time, he got in there with Lomachenko. You know what I mean? And then after that, yeah, we all wanted to see the Shakur fight. You know, whatever. But at the same time, a Regis fight, whether they think that he because it looked bad in his last fight or not, it's still not an easy fight. So you know, he's still putting he's still putting you know what I'm saying world class names on his resume at the end of the day. And I always say that you know what I'm saying with the I always say like you know with the resume the money's gonna come. You know what I mean? If you fight in top name at the top name, people gonna pay to see it and the money's gonna come. But people trying to think, oh, you know what I'm saying, they trying to take the easy money, whatever. I think the majority of the book, more money comes when you fight fights that people want to see. I mean, just look at for example, Ryan and Tank fight. You know what I mean? They said those guys made a you know what I'm saying ran off with the bank. You know what I'm saying and also the numbers did good. So like I say, good fights is good for business.
Top 10 in history.
You know what I mean? Yeah, good fights is good for business.
100%. 100%. Um
Your ultra instinct is why somebody want to see death, man. Like yo, I get the dude credit. Like he young. Look how young he's still. He not making, but he not making excuses.
he's not. He's taking the challenges, and he does have Bill Haney by his side to guide him into making the best decisions possible. Um, but in the same time, this 140 division is not done yet. You can't speak upon just the champions. You got to speak upon these runner ups as well.
Yeah.
Um, Guys like Richards and Hitchens wants the winner of that fight. Most likely might not get the winner of that fight. You know how this boxing game goes.
Yeah, man. It's like listen. One thing I learned when I was with Top Rank, and always stuck with me. What they said, like most promoters, is they go by either two things. You either can fight, you know what I'm saying. You can fight your ass off, or you can sell. You can be a guy who puts asses in seats and sells tickets. But if you do both, that's great. You know what I mean. But if you can't do either or, then no one's gonna really pay to see it. You know what I mean. So you gotta have at least one of the two. And that's how they really go off of. You know what I mean? If we look at it also, like you mentioned, like and nothing against Rich is my guy, but it's like, you know, we seen the criticism, you seen how like quickly they'll stamp that label on you, oh, he's boring, or this, that, and the third. And that label will always run with you until maybe your next performance, and then you have to go out and do something dynamic, or it's going to still. At one point in time, you know, some people probably still may think. At one point in time, you know, people was calling. You got to remember, Top Rank. I think they signed Mick Conlon and Shakur Stevenson at the same time, and they were saying Shakur was the real boring fighter out of the two, and that Mick gonna be another because you know Mick had the you know the Irish crowd, and he sounded at the Garden early in his career, and so forth. So you know what I mean. So I think it's like once you have that label, you got to really like start changing your style up and like really pressing to get those big fights to get out. You know what I'm saying to get under from that label.
Yeah, 100%. Do you just listening to watching the style that Hitchison has, and the winner of Haney and Regis? Do you see his style giving those guys problems?
Um, yeah, I think he can be like basically like a nuisance to them dudes, like, and then, but that's what's gonna keep people from fighting him also because they're gonna use that as an excuse, like, oh, he moves so much, or he's a runner, and yada yada yada. You know how it goes, man. So like, I think like and like for the fans, they probably gonna take it as it's just not a crowd pleasing style. Also, like you said, you know how the business goes, so You know, when you got the crowd against you or whatever, or the fighters that you want saying saying, oh, he's this and that, it makes it hard for anybody saying to want to fight you, or for your promoter to even try to get those fights for you, because at the end of the day, just the promoter has to make money too, and they can't draw a fight where it's not going to sell tickets. You know what I mean? They're going to probably go with somebody else. Saying someone else in their stable for that fight that you may want.
Where does Ryan Garcia fall in all this? I mean, he's going to be fighting also in December, the first week of December, and it's Oscar Duarte.
Hey,
A
that's
guy
not
a lot of people
fight,
don't
man.
know.
Easy fight. Isn't that dude like on like 11 knockout streak as it is, man? He I know people's kind of like frowning on the fight, but at the same time, he may not be in like a big name, but like I'm pretty sure he's looking at Ryan Garcia as a big opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to get those big names, you know what I'm saying, that he wants also. So it's not an easy fight for Ryan. It's not an easy, and my honest opinion, I always thought that like Ryan waited so long to like you see the interviews. I mean, he wants to take his career serious now and wants to be a world champion. I could have felt like with the popularity he had way before, long before the Tank fight, when he was fighting at 130 pounds, 135 pounds, you know what I'm saying, easily. I really believe that with Golden Boy could have like easily put a strap around his waist. Like I said, the business they could have easily maneuvered it to where he got at least one straps around his waist at 35 or 30. You know what I mean, 130. But like,
But
and
that means he would have had to see guys like Tio and Loma.
but they saying again, there's other sanctions, but they would saying they would have waited around like or so forth. But I think let's be honest, I think 140 is deep. Like who's he really gonna who's he really gonna saying take on and not have a hard outing out at 140, at 140 pounds. I mean, with the champion, I don't see him fighting saying Matias and all those guys out there. And so, but I think I think he just waited a little too long and so called take his career serious, and then try to after it took for him to lose a Tank to do that. You know what I mean? And those are heavier guys now. I mean, yes, we know what the clauses and the contract, but still at the same time, these guys are bigger than Tank. These guys are much bigger than Tank. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know. I just think he might get a it might be a hard outing for him. And then like he's still young. What if he grows out of 140 pounds in the next year or two? He's gonna fight Jermall. He's gonna fight Boots Ennis. Like, yeah, come on now.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Shout out to everybody on the live, man. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Make sure you guys go and smash the like button. Um, and for the last fight, man. I like to want to basically talk about this whole, card itself. Benavides and Andre have a super card, probably the best fight at the end of the year. I think, just because of the card itself.
Right.
Um, we got the Matias card, a fight on that card. That's for, an IBF title. Then you got the WBC champion Jamel Charlo fighting Jose David Benavides' older brother Jose Benavides, and just that fight. It seems to me it means a lot for just the boxing community to see these guys step into the ring. One, Jamel Charlo, just knowing that he's had a big absence and he's put things in perspective for people to want to accuse him for certain things just by
Right.
because he's open on the media. And on the other hand, we got Jose Benavides that started his career at 47, fought guys like Crawford, moved up 54, fought Danny Garcia, moved up again, and his last outing at 160 fought a guy that we don't really know, did okay, and now he's gonna fight Jamal Charlo on a catch weight of 164 pounds.
Yeah.
He looked at it like, hey, in the press conference, he said, "Hey, you're not disciplined enough to make 160. What's going on?" What's your thoughts on that fight?
I think I don't know. That's a weird one because like let's be honest, like we most of us looking like we kind of just see like the headspace that what I'm saying that Charlo's really in for that fight. I mean, I was looking at the press conference. He talking about that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I've actually known him since I met him the day when I was turning pro because that's when we was all Al Heyman fighting on the Golden Boy card. So I always been cool with Jamal, but just that like he hasn't been that same. in that same mall that was, saying that when he first won his IBF title, what at 100 at 160 and 54, whatever, yeah, 154 pounds. So I don't know, man. It's just different. But like you said, like you seen, but Benavidez is like he's just jumping on weight, and it's like, is he giving his body enough time to grow into those weight classes as well? Whereas Jamall is going to be naturally the bigger man. So like it's just a weird fight to like really pinpoint, because again, you don't know. Like I know Jose Benavidez. I know him since the amateurs. He's always been he's always been a fighter. He's always been a fighter. I mean, he comes from a fighting family at the end of the day. And
Yeah, he was a good amateur too.
yeah, as I'm saying, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think he was like the youngest Golden Gloves. I think he won like the national Golden Gloves at like 17 years old or something
Over
like that.
300 fights.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So he knows how to fight, but it's like I think the world's gonna be looking at to see what Jamall is gonna do. Like, I think he put out recently. I don't think he really cares for the WBC title at 160, because he's basically saying, like, he's seen an interview after I beat him, I'm gonna fight the other brother. So you can tell right there he's already thinking about moving up. You know what I'm saying, to
What do you thinking on his last few fights?
yeah. So yeah. So I mean, so I don't know. I don't know. It's just a weird one. Like I mean, again, that's when like he's definitely got some ring rust. I think it's been 2 years so since like 2 years.
Plus,
So yeah, it's been a while. So yeah.
um, in the same token, did you hear or did you think it was like believable when he said, "I'm gonna start training tomorrow"?
I've been seeing him in the gym though, so I don't think he's just gonna start. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he meant by that, but we have seen videos where he's been in the gym working, so I don't think he's just starting. That's crazy to start camp. Is it tomorrow, and like the fight's like 3 weeks away from now. So I don't think so. I think that's just what I'm saying, Jamall just talking. But again, like with stuff like that though, like I said, you gotta understand, like you don't know where his headspace is at, but just for saying just random things like that, but like for the most part, I hope he's well. But like, man, I don't know what. Like, I don't know. I can't call it, man.
It's sad. It's tough and it's sad, but in this game, only there's limited of opportunities you get in this game. You got to take them for granted, not take them for granted. And that being said, a lot of people was like, "Yo, Mills, I think the dude's on drugs. Did you see the interview? Did you see his reactions?
Yeah,
What do you think?"
I don't know, man. Like you never know. Like some people, he probably could be self medicated or on medication. You just don't know. Like I don't like, especially if he's going through mental health and everything like that, and so forth and so forth. I don't know, man. Like I said, anything. I feel like if he is going through, like, still going through that type of, he doesn't need to be fighting, but it is what it is. This is what he wants to do. It's his life. You know what I mean? So it's just like we just got to see what happens. But again, he definitely lit a fire under Jose's, under Jose. So Jose's coming to fight. So they're gonna get it on.
I thought it was an interesting press conference. He's like, Jamel's like, "I'm like that." He goes, "You ain't like that." He's like, "You got smacked 2 times." He's like,
It, it got
we like,
shot.
one motherfucker let you just
Oh,
slap you like that.
it went to a whole different. It went to a whole different conversation. You can't go back to your hood type. I'm like, man, this is wild. Like, what is?
Yo, yo, facts, and yeah, exactly. He said that you can't go back to your hood. So I felt like, considering that David and Boob were not necessarily selling the fight as much, these guys are.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean, it's crazy, and it's crazy because David and Boo Boo, they real respectful. You know what I'm saying? As much, but it's like I haven't really heard any like negative or any like trash talk. But like, yeah, the other, what I'm saying too, though, they definitely selling the hell of that card in that fight.
right, right. So 100% Jose. I mean, we can't even give him 100%, right? Because you're moving up really fast. So an 80% Jose versus a 70% Jamel Charlo. Who wins?
I'm giving like a 60-40, because like, again, that ring rust on Charlo, the headspace he's at. Then he's talking about he didn't start training camp yet, and you know what I mean. And like Jose pointed out to him, like, why are we not fighting at this weight instead? So this is a lot of factors, you know what I mean. But again, who knows? I mean, who knows? Like I said, again, Jose, he's definitely gonna carry. He's definitely gonna. He might start slow, because that's his issue in a lot of fights. He starts slow, And then he has his moments later on, but by then it's too late. But like I said, we just gotta wait to see what the hell you know. What I'm saying how that plays out. Now I said the first 2 rounds, go.
Mm. Yeah, you're right about that. Very curious to see what happens in that fight. Now in the main event, we got Demetrius Boo Boo Andres. Uh, Basically, could have beat your favorite fighter back in the days, whoever your favorite fighter was. Um, the thing about it is that we haven't really seen him with stiff competition. And in the same token, it's very similar to what we were dealing with Crawford. The only thing about what Crawford is that, you know, this is not, Crawford's biggest fight of his career was Errol Spence. But look at all the other former champions and notable
Yeah,
names he did touch, and
and he
they weren't given his credibility.
even yeah, and even in between the gaps, he was still staying a lot more busier than Boo Boo is, and then, like you said, in turn, and then like the level of competition, because like same time like I know Boo Boo since the amateurs, and he was always an issue then. You know what I mean? He was a world champion or amateur world champion, and he was expected to medal in the '08 Olympics and so forth. So he has that pedigree, and he definitely, you can tell when he's in the gym, he definitely has that dog, and he loves the grind of the gym. It's just that he was never and so forth.
Mm.
So I mean, again, like man, yeah, in terms of like the natural, saying pedigree of a fighter, you obviously would go with saying Demetrius, but again, you know what I mean? Like we're not well, none of us again, we're not getting any younger. So we're all in our 30s now, you know what I mean? And so forth. So you just and like luckily for guys like Bud, of course, Bud always stays in the gym, but he doesn't overtrain and kill himself out there, saying work. Like Bud, matter of fact, Bud always used to teach me like bro, you don't have to be out here sparring if you're not in camp. Because every time you spar or whatever, you just adding more mileage to your career. At the end of the day, you still taking punches. So like that's one thing that Bud actually stays away from when he's in the gym. He'll work, but he'll work on his technique and practice his craft, but he won't be taking no, unnecessary punishment if he doesn't have to.
That's very important to give that type of advice to the younger fighters.
Right. But yeah, because you see a lot of younger fighters, you see it now. I mean, you see all social media, they arguing about they want to doghouse and out there at the Floyd gym, or they want to spar this person. That's like, and it's like you always see. Think about it, you always see a lot of good sparring partners out here, but then you look at their pro record, and it ain't added up to how they looking out here in these gyms, or at least for that 1 or 2 rounds that you see online.
Facts, facts. I mean, in your eyes, uh, these guys are probably going to be in the best shape of their lives coming into this fight November 25th. Um, do you favor the younger the younger guy that he kind of banks on the second half of the fight, or do you go for the more experienced fighter that has to start early?
I want to go for the more experienced fighter who had to start earlier because he can make adjustments on the fly. But again, if I feel like if Boo Boo doesn't bank in those rounds and keep that pace, he's gonna have a lot of problems with a guy like a guy like David. Because David's already, he's hungry. He's already he wants. Damn, I'm missing his name. Morrell. He's already talking about fighting Morrell if he can't get Canelo. And Morrell's not an easy fight either. And Morrell's one of the guys that people feel like that's been avoided as well. So you could tell, that David's on a mission. You know what I mean? He already has a self belief that I mean they both had that self belief, but David definitely believes that, once he gets this fight the way he's going to Morrell next. So well, you know what I'm saying? We'll have to see. But I think again, that's probably that's definitely a good matchup, a good matchup. It actually surprised me when the fight was even announced. You know what I mean? Because we don't really get these type of good matchups like that with guys like that. So especially with Boo Boo's career. So it's a good matchup.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, what do you think? Keys to victory for Andre fighting a guy like Benavidez. What do
He
you?
got he got a box. He got a box. He got a box. He got a box, man. He got to definitely use that southpaw ring IQ and just box. Oh, I,
Seems like the lateral movement's going to be really key.
and I think Tim Bradley had pointed out the best, like the same thing you said, like you gotta use that lateral movement because at times David can come at you in a straight line, but if he gets you, it's gonna be a problem. But you gotta basically box literally circles around him to keep him, you know what I'm saying, keep him guessing. But if he can't keep that pace up it's gonna be a long night.
When it comes to body work in this fight, who do you give the advantage to?
And probably get that to David.
Even though
Probably,
that Andre does have to go lateral, and
I,
while he does go lateral, he might want to sneak some shots in there as well.
you watch now when you watch Boo Boo, I was thinking that too though. When you watch Demetrius, like he'll put a lot of straight shots, like a lot of jabs and like straight left hands to the body early. People don't really notice that. Like he really starts his body work a lot early, and I feel if he does, that early, he take a lot out of David as time goes on. But again, David being the combination puncher and like he'll dig down to the body a lot. He can be very effective as well. But just that again, that comes later in the fight. But if Demetrius gets get that game plan implemented in the beginning and keeps it up, he'll take a lot of steam off of things David may do later on down the road.
Uh, Signature punches for each guy. Who do you believe? What's Demetrius' signature punch? What do you think David's signature punch?
I like Demetrius, like I said again, it's for me, it's the straight left to the body. It's
To the
like
body?
something that you see me use even last night because it's hard like for orthodox to really see it like that, especially if they're moving. You know what I'm saying towards the left hand. You can just sneak it right under the elbow and it's right there. It's just right there in the pocket. But again, I think David's best weapon is when he lets his hands fly. When he lets his hands fly because he's heavy handed. You know what I mean? He'll knock you off balance. He'll knock you off balance, and he'll just keep, keep pressing, pressing, pressing. So I think it's not much as like a favorite punch. I think it's an accumulation of David Benavidez.
You think he's an underrated body puncher?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he's an underrated combination puncher overall. I mean, he doesn't have to be the slickest boxer, but and matter of fact, another thing I want to point out, I'm glad you mentioned that is you also have to see the weight cut, how that affects him as well. Because I think we all seen the video recently when he had the vest on and he was shadow boxing. And I thought it was an old video because at one point in time he was small again, and then like he ballooned back up a bit. So people gotta take that into effect also. You don't know how hard the weight cut may be. You know what I mean? And he's getting older as well. So we seen him weight issues on the scale in the past. So that's been common in his career. So that's another thing. And if Demetrius starts going to the body early, that can play a huge part going down the stretch of that fight.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, just glancing at the poll, we got 80 votes in. Out of the three fights, they believe that the fight that we're talking about right now with Benavides and Andres is the more competitive and best fight that people are looking forward to.
You know what I'm saying?
Um,
Argue with that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't argue with that because again, It's not really much bad you could say about those two right there. You know what I mean? Like again, when you look at the Dev fight, some people might say that he didn't win his last fight. Some people might even say Regis didn't win his last fight. So of course that's like a toss up depending on who you talking to. Um, with
that's a
Shakur
good claim.
fight, it was with Shakur's fight. It's like one of those things where you know um where like it's hard to really bet against Shakur, or they'll say that Shakur's going to make it a boring fight, whatever you want to call it, because he's going to do a lot of movement with a guy, with an aggressive guy. But even though at times Shakur has said that, saying he stays in, saying in the paint, in the booth with them guys. But then again, like I think the Benavides fight, yeah, that could be more, saying a more tactical fight, depending on what those guys bring on fight night. And what's about the coffee box, man? I ain't even bringing the coffee box out though, but yeah, I don't really go for coffee box, man. I don't really like to see, like, I don't know how they do it myself. Like somebody really sitting there counting every. I don't know, man. I don't really do the. But I just look at activity by round. That's like really, even though I have the monitors in front of me when I'm doing commentary or whatever, I really just look at the fight itself, like how y'all watching it. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at activity and the more effective shots. You know what I'm saying? When I'm actually like saying who's winning what round.
Right, right. Um, Always wanted to get your thoughts on the fight that just went by with the heavyweights with Ngannou and Tyson Fury, man.
I thought Ngannou had one. I thought he pulled it off. I thought he
Like,
slightly pulled it off. But again, I thought it was a fight where Tyson Fury didn't take it seriously. I thought he thought it was like another one of those. fights where the boxer is gonna dominate the box or the MMA fighter in the boxing ring. So you can tell, listen, man, you can tell Tyson then train the part. And I mean, it's no excuse. You know what I mean? It was still a fight. It was still an official fight at that. So like some people was just saying like at one point, oh, it's just an exhibition. I'm like, nah, actually a real sanctioned fight. It was like, oh, yeah. So like again, and
But last minute, it turned into a 10 rounder that was not for the title,
yeah, I mean, yeah, and then man, I think again, like I think
which
Tyson,
was off to me.
I think Tyson didn't feel. I think he got hit with some of those shots. He didn't feel comfortable. He didn't look like the same Fury we seen when he was fighting with a guy like Wilder. You know what I'm saying? When he was training, like he had to take it seriously. But again, I don't think he makes the same mistake twice. You know what I mean? So if you hear whispers about it be a rematch, you hear whispers that that he's still doing an Usyk fight, but again, I don't think he makes the same mistake twice. And I think it's one of the things like he has to get his shit together. I'm like, yo, I can't be out here playing because he's human, so he's here. He hears things, he sees things. I'm pretty sure he knows people's like, yo, oh, Tyson's maybe slipping a bit. He's taking a step back now from his career. So of course it's gonna push him and motivate him to get his shit together.
You think that that version of Fury could have beat Usyk that night?
Nah, nah. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Usyk would have pressed him because you know what I'm saying like Ngannou like if he had I would say like the gas tank of a fighter of a boxer. Because sometimes MMA fights they kind of pace themselves. You know what I mean? Or what I'm saying they'll be on, what I'm saying, or so and forth or whatever. But like if he had what I'm saying the pay, you know what I'm saying what I'm saying the pace of a fighter, even as a heavyweight boxer like a Usyk, he probably would have got Tyson out of there if he got him hurt the first time. You know what I mean? You seen the shot? You seen it showed on Tyson's face.
Absolutely. Now we can't watch this Usyk fight as soon as we want it to be.
But you like we all smart to see the reason why. I felt in my honest opinion, and I like Tyson. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a good champion, but I felt in my honest opinion, Frank Warren did what's best for his investment because that's what it is in the business. It's his investment. Like, listen, we need him. We need to get him to where he can get some of his weight down and into boxing shape. You know what I mean? Because he can't come looking like that, or what I'm saying, even performing like that against like Usyk.
I'm trying to tell people that he's way more out of shape than when he was in with Wilder.
Oh yeah, the hell yeah.
Like you could just see it in the back. The back,
Yeah, that's
his
what I'm saying.
lower back is talking.
Was his look at his back, like he was definitely. I mean, when he pulled up, though, he was joking, doing whatever. He was having more of a good time, you know what I'm saying, for the moment than looking at the fight. But
Do you
I mean,
think we took a hit as the boxing community? I mean, we got like
oh, yeah, yeah,
we had the Usyk fight that he debatably got hit, low blowed, didn't count it, and that was one of the top. He holds all the belts basically, and then the one that is that the belt that's missing, we got a UFC fighter, an MMA fighter that basically beat him.
listen, man, you started seeing every UFC fighter out in the woodworks, even today, still calling out some of our top boxers. And I'm actually more upset with the boxers, not because of with the MMA. I'm actually more upset because you see a lot of boxers though entertaining fighting these MMA guys instead of they need to be taking that same energy to making the fights that we want as a boxing community. If I'm being honest, like I don't care what what I'm saying, Conor McGregor or Sean, whoever has to say about yada yada yada. Yeah, take that energy with the guys that we want to see fight each other. You know what I'm saying, and go from there. Like use that, that's what we want to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to the first cash app of the night, man. HLD in the
Yeah,
building. Thank you
yeah.
for the 5 pesos. Yo, mofos, whoever doubted if there is ever any fight left in the Marine, have no idea the heart and will of a devil dog. Salute to you, champ.
I appreciate that, man. Nah, you're not bad with me. Like I don't like. I just really, I'm just different. Like I don't really. Like I could take constructive criticism. I could take criticism. Period. Like so, I don't really dwell on the past so much. You know what I mean? I like. You see me now. Like I can lose the weight again and fight in like 2 weeks if I had to. You know what I mean? Especially after yesterday, I ain't take no punishment. But that's just me. But I still have that hunger. Like I told, like I want to step up. You know what I mean? I want to step. Like I. Like like I said again, it's the business. because it was only one round, and they might, I might have to do another fight with maybe a better contender, But again, I don't have no issue stepping up and fighting whoever out there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
My mom's from Philly though. My mother's from. I got family out in Philly though. My mother's from Philly, so shout out to Philly. I got family out in Philly. Man, my grandmother still lives out there. She's from Philly, so yeah.
Now you was out in the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm from New York, all New York. But like my mom's from Philly, My grandma lives out there. I go out to Philly, you know what I mean. I got back. I go out there soon to see her again. But yeah, I got a lot of family out there out in Philly.
Mm. You
But
think
Philly, man, shout out to Boots, man. That's like I said, another contender that I would like to see get a shot. But again, it's like I look at it, it's like the lightweight division. And at the same time, Bud holds the card, holds the cards to whatever he wants to do in the division. And until Bud misses the decision, then that division's tied up. Just the way I look at the lightweight division is tied up right now until Devin decides that he's gonna move down or vacate those belts. So, but again, I would like to see Boots. I feel like Boots, he's a guy who actually wants to fight, competition, but it's not. He can't fight he wants right now.
I mean, looking at how big he is, right? How long do you think he can make 147, bro?
Yeah, I think Boots gonna have to be like one of them guys that if he gets a chance at the title, he gotta do a one and done. Maybe defend it once, maybe twice, but
Get
he's
out of there.
he's big, 54. He'll be at 54 in the next couple of years, I'll tell you that much.
Probably the next year,
Yes, I'm
for
saying.
sure.
Like boxing, you see, man, boxing changes hands. Like if you go look, if anybody that's watching, y'all go look at just rankings 2 years ago, and you'll see some of them names like you're like, damn, I forgot he fought this weight because he's at this weight now. You know what I mean? So boxing changes hands real quick.
Yeah, you 100% on that. Um, you think Gandu got a future in some big fights in boxing?
Yeah, but money wise, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, when you get the WBC basically saying, "Oh, we'll give you a top 10 ranking," you know what I'm saying, and so forth, and then let's be honest, his name popped up a lot just in the first 48 hours after the Tyson Fury fight. You had the Wilder team, this side, you know what I mean, and like he's gonna make more money than he made than in the MMA, and you know what I'm saying. Even if listen, he can go 0-4 his boxing career, and he'll still make out more money than what you see from guys that's been boxing all their lives.
How do you think he does matching up with a guy like Wilder?
I don't know. Like I said, I believe in styles make fights, and Wilder's gonna be a guy that's gonna try to prove a point to have something over Fury in some way or shape or form. So like I said, Wilder still he has that equalizer with that right at the end of the day. So I don't know. Like I said, styles make fights. Just because Tyson beat Wilder, whatever, doesn't mean that this guy that people thought that beat Tyson is gonna do this with a guy with a guy like Wilder.
What do you think about the heavyweight division and where it stands now after that fight? Do you
Like I
think
said,
that do you think our rankings are looked at as jokes when it comes to other martial arts?
the rankings, but I know a lot of people look at the business as a joke. You know what I mean? As like as a joke. Okay, because my man, Francis, he even said it. He even said it like, he was offended when they even announced that Usyk and Tyson was fighting December. Why before their fight happened and so forth. So people are looking like, the fix is already in. You know what I mean? Because it wouldn't have been a good look. Let's be honest, it wouldn't have been a good look if if he would have beat Tyson and you have you're supposed to be making the first unified world championship since Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean? Title fight. So yeah, it wouldn't have been a good look. So a lot, I know it's definitely taking a black eye. I wouldn't say the rankings or so, but I definitely say that the division as a whole has taken a black eye. Then like some people feel like Dubois, got the win over Usyk. She should get the and so forth. So like,
I mean, even if you look at Big Bang's first loss, could have
yeah,
went either way.
hasn't been a good look in the past. Thing 3-4 months.
Right, right. Um, and then other news we had Big Baby Anderson got caught with a firearm, man. This is something that's going on in boxing a lot. If you had to give some word of wisdom, I mean, you're obviously a Marine, and I mean,
No,
you've been in front of it, behind it. How do you carry yourself if you
Nah,
gotta hold it?
like Jared, my guy, and I think so. I'll be strict fair. Matter of fact, speaking of that, like I'm gonna tell you a story. It's crazy, man. Like Tiafimo came out. It surprised me. Tiafimo was up there last night to support me. I didn't even know. Like I did not know. Like I did not know at all. Like until like somebody came in and was like, oh yo, Tio's in the building, whatever. And I spoke to his afterwards. Me and Tio spoke. We spoke. You know what I mean? He shared love. But then I spoke to his manager afterwards, and he was came to me. He said, I'm actually indebted to you. I'm looking at him like, what you mean? He was like, no, because a lot of people don't know this. I commentated when Tio Fimo fought Taylor, and I know Tio still good. People thought his mind was elsewhere and yada yada. People didn't think he was gonna look that good. They thought he was gonna, a lot of people thought he was gonna lose to Taylor. And in the meeting, he was going he was going through a lot in the meeting alone, and I had to get up from the table, and I went around the table. I was like, yo, man, come here, bro. Like, cause me and T.O. has been cool, you know what I mean? But I had to like, give him that like that real genuine,
Brother.
yeah, brother. Yeah, so I'm like, yo, bro, so listen, bro, you a grown man at the end of the day, and like you got your son, if everyone's against you, you got your son now to fight for. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you gotta lead by example. Forget what everybody got to say about you, forget everybody how they feel about you. I say at the end of the day, you got something to fight for. So you need to clear whatever's going through your head, and you need to take take tomorrow night seriously and focus. And his manager mentioned to me yesterday. He was like that was real. And Tio came to me and was like, "Yo, Jamell's one of the real ones that that actually gives it." Because he was really going through a lot, you know what I mean? But like I was just saying, but I'm going. I said to say this, I would probably do the same thing. But Jared, like at the same time, like bro, you're a brand now. You know what I mean? Like you got eyes on you. You can't be out here just being whoever that you make, want to be in your mind. You can't do that. It's just that's just how it is, and especially in this business. Like, let's be honest, that's gonna carry with him for years to come. I mean, think about it. I, and Reese, remember, we're just now looking at Mike Tyson as wholesome Mike Tyson, but we was growing up, they was looking at Mike Tyson as a menace, and he was never gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? That carried him for years. So at the same time, it's like, yo, your name is your brand. Sometimes your name is your brand. So like, Jared, my guy, you know what I'm saying? We make mistakes, but it's like, come on, bro, like you gotta be smarter than that. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? And there's no excuse, you're a grown man. You gotta be smarter than that. But so hopefully, he gets it together and cleans up. But like at the same time, man, like yeah, HLD, that's just basically, the Marine Corps way. Like, we're gonna we look out for our own, but I ain't listen, I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? So like I mean I would want somebody if I'm fucking up, I would want somebody. I'm just that person. If I'm fucking up, please tell me I'm fucking up and pull me to the side and be like, yo, because I don't need no yes man. That's how you get in trouble now. That's why I used to even my brother Adrian Brunner. I used to always bump heads with him like, yo, bro, this is back when he had the 20-man entourage. Yo, what you doing? Like you don't need this. Like, and now it's like now you don't like you see it now. Now you don't see that same big entourage around Adrian Brunner today. You know what I'm saying? But he still got his real I still check up on him. He'll hit me up. He hit me for my birthday. We spoke, whatever. I remember he was going through some things recently on social media. I hit up on the side. Hey, are you good? Like, yo, you all right? You know what I mean? But that's that people we need that, you know what I mean? So like if I get a chance to pull him to the side, I'm gonna talk to him.
How do you pull someone aside that necessarily doesn't want to be put onto the side?
You still listen, you still listen, a lot of us, I mean, even myself, sometimes we may hear some shit we don't want to hear at the time at that point in time, but at the same time, I guarantee you down at like as time goes on, you'll be like, you know what? He really said something real to me, that like, and I see it now. It may be a while. You may not want to hear it now, but I guarantee you later on, you be like, you're gonna look back like, yeah, he was right, man. He was right. Like, so again, I mean, yeah, I may say something, he may not like it, but at the same time, it's gonna be he'll know later on that it was genuine, it was real. It's not criticism to be, saying to make something like, oh, you're just a fuck up, whatever. Like, nah, I'm just telling you because people out here care for you and like, come on, like I love his mother. His mother's a real good woman. Like when I see his mother come to the fights, she always embraces me because I would show the family love. So like I said, I would still talk to him because you never know. You never know. He may need that. You know what I mean? He may not like it, but he may need that.
Same thing with Keyshawn Davis got caught smoking weed. I mean, Same thing, but really same thing. And that's the reason why I said, how do you help someone that doesn't want to be helped? Because
Like I said, they young man, but like I said again, it's no excuse. 'Cause I know, like I said, you still a grown man, but like when I say that they're young, that they still have room to grow and learn from their mistakes over time. If they if they willing to open up their minds and listen, open up their ears and listen and everything as well. So it's like, like I said again, like we make mistakes. I wasn't perfect, you know what I mean. I did dumb things, you know what I'm saying. When I 21, 22 years old, you know what I mean. But at the same time, what I'm saying, I learned from the mistakes, and I still embrace those lessons, from the past and so forth. But like, what I mean, it is what it is. I mean, again, Shakur, I talked to him at times like, yo, bro, like, and we had our issues, but like, I don't hold grudges. Like, a lot of people don't know. Me and Shakur, we'll speak on the side. Like, yo, bro, you good? You all right, man? Like, you don't need to be out here arguing with, like, come on, like this. I don't care about the fight that we had. That's in the past for me. But like, I'm just like, yo, come on, man. You can be something great. You know what I mean? You got all the talent in the world. You got everything you got everything, what I'm saying, that you would want or dream of. And yo, be smart. That's it.
it's crazy because it's like this Twitter stuff now. Back in the days when you first started your career, you didn't have this stuff,
Yeah,
and
it, right, like I said, man, like recently we seen him like, come on, score you better fight for your, what I'm saying, in your third weight class, another world championship, and you arguing with dudes, no disrespect to them because they using to their advantage, and it is what it is. But like, these dudes are starting their careers at, why are you arguing? Why are you giving them the time of day? Like, come on, bro. Like, and it's like, and then when you find out the whole story, it'd be for the pettiest things, like. Come on, man. It ain't worth to get that ugly and spill out the gym, and now everybody's making threats, and like, come on, bro. Like, what's the point in the end? And I look at it like this. When it comes down to business, you got businesses and people that you work with. They look at you funny now because they might not want to do business with you because they might think you have a certain mentality, or what I'm saying, or image that they can't get behind. So it's not worth it.
yeah, you definitely cleared that up for sure, man. It's the social media can make you or break you nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You know.
mean, listen. I get criticized today's till this day about the Shakur fight, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't take it. It is what it is. People gonna say what's about you behind closed doors. So you gotta just take it with a grain of salt at times, man. Just let it keep going. Like even now, they could say I was done and pack it in and yada yada. But yesterday I came back like, what I mean. Despite what they may say about the cow, but I told
Came
my
out new money, new money.
exactly how I look at it and how I feel. At the end of the day, I open up more doors for my career moving forward. So that's what I'm saying. I take it as constructive criticism. And I keep it moving.
I like that too, cause like after hearing like Tim Bradley talk about like you saying you're gonna come for your comeback, and him making slick talk, and then yesterday I heard him say what he do in exhibition, and in my head I'm like, we just see my man Jamell just got a first round knockout. Now you talking about exhibitions and shit.
It's crazy. In fact, man, dude was like, "Yo, when you coming back?" Because me and Tim commentating. He be the man. Like him and Andre Ward was always pushing me to go back. So like, but then like, I know I'm gonna speak to Tim soon anyway. When I go back out there to commentate with him. But yeah, Tim, yeah, Tim a good dude though, man. He a good dude.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Um, just like last minute thoughts, man. Like as far as your career is concerned, where can people find you? What's your thoughts on your next upcoming fight? I know you could probably answer due to the fact that you took no punishment. So
I mean, yeah, man. Like I spoke to Lou today because I didn't know. Like I didn't know today. Like I ain't know Nick's no. I know I heard last night his nose was broke, but they said he had a cracked rib also. So Lou was talking about that. Like he had, what I'm saying. So hopefully, he gets a full recovery down the stretch. And like even leave it to him. I would tell him like, don't let that fight, crush whatever dreams that you may have. Because again, early in my career, when I came across Dennis Shavkov 16-0, I took a huge L, and I still had to claw fight my way back to becoming a champion. So I would even tell him like, what I mean, just learn from it, learn from the experience, and what I'm saying, and move forward, but move smartly. So, but for me, what I mean, yeah, again. I'll fight. Like I said, I'll fight Joe Cordina. I mean, like that was one of the main reasons for me coming back was for saying to fight a guy like Joe Cordina if he wants to make that fight, whatever. But if he doesn't, I'm not stressing it. Saying, like I said, there's still other big fights out there. But everybody can reach me. Saying at Jamell Herring on saying Instagram, Twitter. I mean, I'm always communicating. Like I say, even with me when I miss you, like we speak back and forth, and I'm like, yo, bro. I know I was busy, but I'm gonna get to you, bro. I got you, though. I got you. So I'm just that type of dude, though. Like, what I mean? I may miss you today, but I'm gonna definitely get back to you. What I'm saying, eventually we're gonna link up.
Nah, yeah, absolutely. Like the channel loves you, man. Like every single time I post anything about you, they'll be like, "Yo, he speak for real," and then people will hit me with like, "You think he'll speak for real with the Shakur?" I was like, "Bro, that's one thing about Heron. He'll tell you how it is. He already lived it, done it, and
Yeah.
nobody really could tell him anything else than that, you know."
Oh yeah. Like I said, I don't hold no enemy. I don't hold no grudges. That's the fight game. Like I said, I wish that man the best of luck. What I'm saying? I want to see him succeed. So, man, again, I'm rolling for him. You know what I mean?
They don't know about being an OG. You feel me? They don't know.
Yeah, man, it ain't nothing. Like, hey, one thing I take pride in is like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what people say. It's like they ain't have to worry about me going in a list and ducking them. Like when the fight was made, I was just like, yo, all right, when they want to set it, like just give me the date. You know what I mean? I didn't go out there making crazy demands, and I was a champion. You know what I mean? I ain't none of that. But like, so when I seen everyone afterwards, we need this, or the money's hitting. That tell you right there how my mindset and my character is at. So it is what it is.
Mm, it's true, man. After you fought, Shakur, it was just like now everybody was running from him and shit.
Right. And then, like, I mean, it was whatever. I mean, like I said, I mean, he was actually the only one, him and Frampton at the time, because like I said, I try to fight, but yo, a lot of y'all don't know either. Like Oscar Valdez was actually my mandatory because he had the WBO title at featherweight, and when he moved up, I thought I was going to get that fight. And the reason why I fought Carl Frampton because there's no knock against Valdez because Valdez team was respectful and was like, nah, champ, we're going to go a different direction. We want to fight Cho around that time. So I felt like I was being left out in terms of the big fight. So that's when I had to go find the opponent in like Carl Frampton. But that's how that story went. You know what I'm saying? I was out because Bachel wouldn't fight me for unification after I won the title. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe when Valdez moves up, I'll get Valdez. But Valdez said he wants to fight for WBC title. So I respected that. I had to go out there and go find, the biggest name available at the time, and that was Frank. And after that, you know, I could have easily made the excuse, oh, I can't make the weight anymore. Let me move up to lightweight and avoided Shakur. But I was like, nah, whatever. I mean, I want to keep testing myself. Even now, I'm gonna still test myself. So that's why I said, yo, whatever they want to make available, whatever fight they want to make, just let me know.
He's taking all smoke.
Simple as that.
Well, man, it was a pleasure chopping it up with you, man. Hopefully, we can get back right after the Shakur fight and get your reaction on it. And I know you'll be real busy with commentating and obviously prepping up your next fight. But I salute you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro. Man. I'm just a call away, bro. Hit me up whenever, bro. I got you.
You already know, my brother. God bless, and on to the next, my brother.
All right, bro. God bless. Salute. Hey, appreciate y'all tuning in too, man. Out there. Catch me later, though, bro.
Catch. Let everybody know your social media before you leave too.
At Jamell Herring, all one word together, man. Every platform.
Boom. Well, you already know, man. Much love to you.
All right, bro.
This is Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media, the Fighters Channel, the Trainers Channel, my People's Channel. Shout out to everybody on the live. Please, smash the like button. It's free. Guess what? The like button is free. So please smash it. And this channel, we try to give you guys the best top athletes in boxing, discussing what their thoughts are in the ring with, certain fight predictions and whatnot. Obviously, my man Jamell, he had a great fight last night. So I wanted to get up to him and wrap it up with my guy. But salute to everybody in the chat. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for real, because you guys could be doing anything and y'all here rocking and talking boxing with me. I love boxing. Carl Brown, Next Gen Combat Sports TV, Champion, HLD, everybody on the block, man. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I'm gonna see what's goody, for some foodie. The shorty just came in, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get into punishment real quick, but I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm gonna be posting it. Let me know what y'all thinking about this interview as well. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? And what's next? What would you guys like to see from me next? But much love to everybody on the chat. And we on to the next one. God bless.